So today we're going to be going over 15 powerful fragrances that pack a punch. These are for the people who want to stand out. You want to make your presence known whenever you walk into the room. All of these here open up really strong, really powerful. They all have great performance, and there's something about these that really just hook your attention right off the first spray. Like I said, we've got 15 to go over here. So if you're looking to do some shopping for yourself or for some other people and you want to get some fragrances that are going to pack a punch, they're going to turn heads, they're going to be strong and powerful, these are going to be for you. Let's get into it. This first one, we have Parfums de Marly, Carlisle. We do have, I believe, 2 niche fragrances in here. The rest are designers, so it's going to be pretty affordable here except for a couple of them. But when it comes to a video like this, it's hard for me not to include a Parfums de Marly, just because when you go over to the niche fragrance side of things, they're one of the best brands for kind of getting started into niche and also for still having a ton of mass appeal and a ton of versatility. That's what this one has here. It's a super sexy masculine fragrance. It's one that is very, very strong, really packs a punch. From first spray all the way into the dry down, this stuff just kills it. I mean, you can spray this up in the air and it'll hit you, man. I mean, it's right there. It's strong stuff. But I love this stuff more and more each time I smell it. This one and Layton are probably 2 of their best fragrances. They have a lot of good ones, but it's really hard to beat Carlisle. I'm going to move through this fast because we do have 15 fragrances here. I don't want this to run on too long. So we have ADG Profondo up next. It's got orange, mineral notes, sea notes, I think Aqua Zone, which is a little bit of a unique note. So essentially this one is obviously going to be an aquatic fragrance, right? Kind of makes sense here given the name, the line of fragrance that it comes from. But for me, it is just unlike any other aquatic fragrance that I've smelled. It is one of a kind unique. It smells like the rocks that the waves of the ocean would hit on, you know, as tide is coming in and out. Yeah, how's that description for you? Raise your hand if you like to smell like rocks in the ocean. I guess I do. No, but really though, it's so unique. The mineral notes in here is something that you do pick up on, and if I had to put some sort of imagery into your head, that's how I would describe it. But it's a very, very sexy and masculine scent. This is one that my girlfriend absolutely loves on me, and I love it a lot as well, so that works out good because I get to wear it all the time throughout the summer, and she doesn't complain like with some of my other stuff. I love this one so much that I have this 4.2 ounce bottle, or maybe it's a 4.2, and then I bought the 6.8, I believe it's 200 ml bottle. So I've got a lot of this stuff to go around. I've put a little bit of a dent in this bottle. I haven't worn too much out of the other bottle. That's just kind of my backup, but it was one of those fragrances that I just had to double up on right out of the gate because I was so intrigued by it. You know, with how the line went after Profumo, I was kind of falling out of love with it a little bit, but this one hooked me back in. I love this stuff. This and Profumo, 2 of the best out of the ADG line, in my opinion. All right, we got to keep it moving quickly here. I'm already talking too much. Pasha de Cartier Parfum. This one's got fur, it's got boozy notes, it has some aromatic notes. This is a flanker of the original, which is an aromatic fougere, maybe barbershop style scent if you know that better. That's kind of how the original comes across, maybe a little bit dated. This one plays off of that, but adding a bunch of sweetness and kind of an alcoholic boozy smell. This is my favorite between the 2. In my opinion, this one's miles better because of that richness that it adds. And similar thing, you can spray this one up in the air and smell it, and it really, really smells great, and it gets your attention. There's a nice sandalwood note in here, giving off a creaminess. The way it mixes with the fur, some more woods, and the boozy notes. This is divine stuff for the fall and winter time, and it will turn heads like none other. Another aquatic, but I had to feature it, Aqua Atlantique by Bvlgari. It's got ambroxan, or maybe ambergris, as it would say on the note breakdown, bergamot, sea notes. I don't know if they put the seaweed in here or not, but it's Bvlgari's take on a blue fragrance, and in my opinion, one of the best, and also one of the strongest. So there's that. What's interesting about that is this is, I believe, like the most affordable blue fragrance. This and Dylan Blue are really right there. If you get a tester of this one, which makes sense to do because there's no cap anyway, I think it will end up being cheaper. But the point is, it is an absolute powerhouse of a summertime scent. If compliments are the name of the game for you, you got to get Bvlgari Aqua Atlantique. This packs a serious punch. From opening to dry down, this stuff goes hard all day long, all summer long. Obviously, summer days are going to be the longest out of the year, right? And so if you want something that will stick with you while you're out on the lake, out on the beach, out having fun, this should be high on your list to get for next summer. Enjoy it. Missoni Parfum for men. Grapefruit, birch, and ginger are some of the main notes. Now, don't be afraid. It gets compared to Bleu de Chanel, but I really don't think it smells like Bleu de Chanel, so it's not a blue fragrance, and it is not a Bleu de Chanel clone. Some may want that because it's much more affordable than Bleu de Chanel, so I hate to burst your bubble, but it doesn't smell like that. Sure, it has grapefruit. It has maybe a little bit of a smokiness from the birch, so people automatically equate grapefruit and incense, like Bleu de Chanel. But it's really not like that. It is citrusy, it is spicy, it is very woody, very masculine. It's very clean and refined. And it's also a parfum, which is a little bit surprising given that it just kind of came out as a standalone and they already went up to parfum. I think that's pretty admirable. The quality is fantastic. The bottle is really nice. I've touched on this a lot, but it's a fully custom bottle, not some stock bottle thing that brands put out sometimes. It's got a magnetic cap. It's got nice weight to it, nice heft. All around a really nice package for not a whole lot of money. And yeah, you guessed it, it packs a serious punch. Very strong. Up next, we have Rasasi Hawas. Plum, sea notes, ambergris, bergamot, ambroxan, you know, the whole drill are some of the main notes. Yeah, it's got ambergris and ambroxan. That's how hardcore it is. I didn't even mean to do that, but it's kind of what it's all about, right? So to give you the backstory on this, Invictus Aqua 2016 came out a year after this. Came out in 2015 here, and so it looks as though Paco Rabanne copied off of Rasasi. So if you're someone who was on the Invictus Aqua 2016 hype train, just get Rasasi Hawas. Don't even worry about Invictus Aqua 2018. In my opinion, this Rasasi is a million times better, and that's coming from someone who owns actually multiple bottles of both Invictus Aquas and one of this one. I take this over the 2018, and if all of my 2016 would run out, I would still be taking this one instead of trying to pay a whole bunch of money for more 2016 Invictus Aqua. That's how solid this one is. The plum opening is absolutely incredible. It's bright, it's sparkling, it's juicy, it's fruity. It is a fantastic summertime scent with a whole lot of power behind it. Next up, we have Pure Havane by Terry Mugler. So this is a limited edition, not really discontinued, although I guess you could call it that. It was never one that was meant to be produced forever, is what I'm saying. A limited edition at some point is always going to run out if it's a true limited edition, so that's what it is. If it goes in and out of stock, that's why. The reason why I'm featuring this is because you can actually get it on FragranceNet right now. It will be linked down below, so it is one that you can pick up. It's going to be for a pretty penny. I mean, they're proud of this stuff, but in my opinion, it's worth it. Honey, tobacco, and vanilla are some of the main notes, and you guessed it, another powerhouse. Packs an absolute punch. It's syrupy sweet from the honey. You get this nice red pipe tobacco in here. It's a very kind of warming, inviting fragrance, even though it is super strong. So if you're going to wear this in a close encounter situation or close quarters for the holidays, just tone your sprays back. Or you could wear it in a setting where you want to get noticed and you can amp your sprays up a bit and all eyes are going to be on you. Absolutely powerful, crazy strong scent. And look, hate to be that guy, but get it while you can. FragranceNet has it. I would jump on it at some point. If it is a true limited edition, you're not going to be able to get it at all. Jump on this stuff. One of the few that I can highly recommend. Next up, we have Roberto Cavalli, Uomo Deep Desire. Cinnamon, cedarwood, and saffron are some of the main notes. How'd you think of that? Cinnamon, cedarwood, saffron. That's a little bit tricky to say, but I nailed it both times. Pretty cool, right? Normally, I can't even say regular, easy words right. And somehow I managed to say that in a row twice without messing up. That's pretty crazy. So this one is warm, spicy, and woody. That's all you need to know, and that's apparent by the note breakdown. Saffron gives it kind of a different twist, something that is relatively non-traditional in the men's designer fragrance side. Once you get over to niche, you know, Baccarat Rouge 540 uses that heavily. There's some others that do it, but on the designer side, not so much. So I really appreciate this one. It is something unique. It's something different, and that's what it's all about. If you want to stand out, give this one a shot. It's strong from opening to dry down. If you want a warm, spicy scent that's different, here's one for you. Up next, another absolute monster of a scent, one that's so strong that it's kind of ridiculous, but it's also really, really freaking cool. It's a niche fragrance, the last one for this video, one that also isn't a whole lot of money, so that's cool as well. Mancera Red Tobacco. Tobacco, vanilla, cinnamon, and oud are just a couple of the notes. There's quite a few more if you look on the note breakdown. Absolutely incredible tobacco scent, and the name is all you need to know. It's a red pipe tobacco smell with hints of oud, a little bit of a sweet vanilla and a spicy cinnamon, but really It's all about that tobacco. So if you're not a fan of that note, steer clear from this one. Trust me, do yourself a favor. And on the other hand, if you're a big tobacco fragrance note fan like myself, you got to get all over this one if you haven't already. I will link it down below to Twisted Lily, where you can use my code CHAOS10 for 10% off, meaning you can save like what, $18 off of this? I think that's a pretty good deal. In fact, I know it is. I mean, this stuff is worth it. Like I said, it's from a more affordable niche brand, but that doesn't mean that the quality is lower or bad or anything. It's actually really good quality, very smooth. It's an eau de parfum, but as I mentioned, it's absolutely off the wall strong, like ridiculously strong. If you're not into strong fragrances for whatever, don't get this, but I think most of you guys are. I am. You're gonna love it. Next up, we have Stronger With You Intensely by Emporio Armani. Vanilla, toffee, and tonka bean are some of the key ingredients, the key components in the scent. So I'm being really fancy talking about this one, but really the scent itself is not at all that fancy. It's very youthful, very playful, but one thing is for certain, it hits hard. It packs a punch. You spray this one on, it's sweetness overload, and it is powerful. I'm actually really still enjoying the smell of Carlisle in here that I sprayed on in the very beginning up in the air, which is why I haven't been spraying other stuff. So that's a little tidbit of information for you. This is still hanging around. Well, that's not good. Dropped my bottle of Carlisle and it landed on this bottle of some sort of Le Male that I picked up for a buying guide that I haven't recorded yet, which means I have to buy this again. And I also have a mess to clean up. At least my bottle of Carlisle didn't break. As you can see, I'm not making this up. The bottle is soaked. This is why I don't do stuff like this. It's a very sweet and juvenile fragrance, so you have to be okay with that. If you're into that sort of thing, you're gonna love this one. It's in the video for a reason. It packs an absolute punch, and yeah, one that you should definitely check out if you're after a fun, playful, strong, sweet fragrance. Oh boy, let's finish this video out. Tom Ford Ombre Leather is up next. Leather, amber, cardamom, jasmine are some of the main notes. Very, very strong, masculine leather fragrance. Now, not like Tuscan leather, which is, I mean, just on a whole different level. Let's be real, Tuscan leather is unlike anything else. This one's more mainstream. This one's more acceptable, or widely accepted, I guess. It's easier to get along with is what I'm saying here. I don't think every average consumer would smell Tuscan leather and want to apply that to themselves and wear it. A lot of guys would. It's very masculine, but some would be like, that's not for me. But I think ombre leather strikes the perfect balance for a leather scent, and it's a much more toned down version of Tuscan leather, so there's that as well. But it's still very strong. It packs a punch from opening to dry down. It smells absolutely incredible. One of my favorite leather fragrances, what's nice about this one as well, is that it's in the more affordable signature line here, so it makes it a lot easier to pick up without spending a whole bunch of money. Highly recommended. Very classy, very sexy. Let's keep it rolling with Bvlgari Man In Black. Rum, spices, and leather are some of the main notes. So this gets compared a little bit to Spice Bomb. I've talked about this before. Might as well spray it because it doesn't smell like Carlisle in here anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, it has a boozy approach and a more kind of mature approach on the original Spice Bomb. It's very spicy, which is obviously where that comparison is going to come from, but with a booziness, more of a kind of refined, well put together, well dressed guy type of smell. Spice Bomb is not something that I would equate to a guy who's dressed up, rather the opposite, more so casual, going out and hitting some bars and parties and stuff. Whereas this one, you could dress it up, wear a suit and tie, go to a nice event, and it's going to work great. But it still packs an absolute punch. It's very strong and spicy in the opening. It performs good throughout. It smells fantastic. Up next, we have Yves Saint Laurent Y Parfum. Apple, lavender, and tonka bean are some of the main notes. I've been talking about this one to death, and there's a reason for it. I really love it. I love it a lot. I didn't think the EDP could get any better until I got onto this one, and now this is all I want. I mean, like I said, I've been wearing this in the winter time when I should be wearing other stuff that's, you know, winter time fragrances. It works in the winter time. It could work all year round, but, you know, normally I'm wearing my tobacco, cinnamon, vanilla, boozy, heavy fragrances, and I still have been, but I've also been having a craving for this one, so that tells you something. That tells you that this stuff is really, really good for what it is, all things considered. Easily the best in the line for me, or at least right there with the EDP. If I had to choose, it would be tough. Right now, I would probably choose the Parfum just because, you know, I'm still really loving it. I don't think that would change either. It's just so much more refined. Such a great flanker and a nice, even more smooth and heavy and mature take on the EDP. Love it, and it packs a serious punch. It's a powerhouse. Running down to the end, we have Ultra Male up next. So in a video talking about fragrances that pack a punch and that are very powerful, this has to be in here. I mean, I can't skip it out. Pear, vanilla, cinnamon, lavender are some of the main notes. It's very fruity and very, very sweet. So if you're not into fruity, sweet fragrances, this is not going to be for you. For a lot of people, it isn't, but for me, it's like a guilty pleasure. I love it. It's super sweet, it's very inviting, very sexy, very, very playful, and it absolutely just demolishes the compliment category. I don't know what it is about this one, but it just works so, so well. I love this stuff, and I always will. And last up, we have Fahrenheit Le Parfum by Christian Dior. Violet leaf, rum, and vanilla are some of the main notes. It's another one that's kind of an untraditional take on what you may expect, being that you're getting freshness and a whole bunch of sweetness mixing together, but it works really well. It's got a boozy accord. It's got a nice kind of bourbon vanilla smell mixing with the violet leaf, this kind of petrol, fresh smell that Fahrenheit is known for. The combination is absolutely incredible. I wasn't expecting it to be this good. It kind of seems out of place, but once you get your nose on this one, you understand the hype. Gorgeous scent, quality is fantastic, performance is really, really good as well. It's one that will set you apart. It's one that packs a punch right out of the gate, and it'll keep kicking all night. Alrighty guys, there you have it. That is 15 powerful fragrances that pack a punch. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. A little bit of everything for everyone, from aquatics to sweeter scents. So I thought that was a pretty cool way to go about this video. For gifts, for yourself, whatever. I think these all work. I will provide links to all of them down below so you can pick them up at a discounted price. Twist a Lily, code Chaos10 works for the whole website, 10% off. You know, that's kind of where you can get the niche here. And that's really all I got for you. There's a wet spot on the carpet from a random Le Male fragrance that has smashed and that is discontinued, that I think I paid probably a lot for. And my bottle of Carlisle is still wet, and I did notice that, oh, it actually kind of fixed itself. This collar is incredibly loose now, so I may have, that might work for now. Very sticky. Look how shiny. I've never seen it that shiny before. That's not normal. If your bottle of Carlisle looks like this, you've got problems going on, as do I. I need to get out of here and clean everything up. Yeah, see, this is not good right here. So, yeah, collar just pulls right off with the cap. Kind of depressing, but, you know, whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.